Alright, welcome back. So it's a new day and it's a beautiful day. So what I've really done this morning is, although for some reason the day's flown by, I've only managed to do the lights. For example, I changed the headlights. Well, I actually done it last night. I've done all the tail lights and the front lights just to clean them up and swap them around. So now, while I'm waiting for parts for the interior, i.e. still figuring out what I'm going to do with the heater. That's bothering me because it's going for a safety. It's changed hands, so it's going for a safety. So like, would you get away with not putting it in? Will you know? Before I start testing all the electronics and so on, I really want to get cracking into this engine bay. I really want to take some bits and pieces off it and start looking at it. So I'm going to the valve cover off. I'm going to put a new fuel pump in it. I'm going to have a look at the exhaust and everything and see where it's leaking from. Maybe just happened to be stuff there, but honestly when I first started it looked like there was a leak. So either way, it's going to be no harm. I'm going to take it off, get the carbs a little spray, make sure everything is all loosey-goosey and not seized and all that jazz. But I know it does run well. So what I may do, and I noticed, is the fuel line from here to the rear, it looks awful big. It looks like it's one size too big. So what I'll probably end up doing is changing it and putting flexi and putting pipe all the way up into the fuel pump. Maybe that's the issue with it. It shouldn't be, because obviously the car ran before that. But something was causing it that. Hold on. Every time. Something was causing it that when you turn the key, it doesn't start. You have to spray a bit of petrol onto the here to get it to run. So somewhere that has to be a little bit of air, or the pipe is too big and it's not pulling. But once it's running, it pulls. So I'm looking at the diaphragm on the fuel pump. That's what my theory is, or a bit of a clogged fuel filter. But either way, we're going to get to the bottom of that. We're going to change it and hopefully get to the bottom of it. So yeah, let's start stripping some parts in the engine bay. Woohoo! Alright, so I'll continue in the strip down. So this is a positive ground car. But what I'm feeling I'm going to do, I think I'm going to change it to negative ground. Only because in case anything goes wrong with the generator, it's easy to put an alternator on. It's much better, a little easier on the lights. But it's just even for the electronic ignition. It's just negative ground's an easier system to go with. So I'm going to do that. Most of the time it's really just, other than you don't have to just swap them. Obviously you have to go into the altimeter, swap that and change it, and that's positive ground to negative ground, and change the polarity on the generator. Other than that, everything else should be pretty much straightforward. I'm still going to change all the parts anyway. But yeah, I noticed this. My hate. Silicone! Sorry, let me zoom in a bit. Silicone. You tell me that's not getting in. You can see it's on the lip, it's on the way in, which means if we can get in there, not only the fuel pump, we can get in anywhere. So again, it doesn't take much of that. That doesn't break down. So again, now when I go to drop the oil, and the coolant, now I'm going to have to check and see if I see silicone in there. Well, funny feeling, if you've done that, I can guarantee if you've dropped the pan, I can guarantee there's silicone down there. So I'm going to clean all that up. Yeah, I've taken all the top of it. So yeah, I'm going to redo this wire, take all that off, and clean it up. You can really use red. But yeah, other than that, the engine looks okay. Everything else, like I said, we've done some grommets and everything. All the brakes seem to be fine. A bit of solidified outside, but not interior, which is good. But yeah, a bit of brake cleaner in there, and we'll give it a good scrub, a bit of a wire brush. But that's down the line. For now, I'm just going to clean up down here. I have a new fuel pump to go on. But yeah, it's only because I seen it was positive ground. I was debating whether I do it, and there's not much to this. There's not much to swap the polarity. Obviously, the battery terminal is one thing, but then anything that's a positive ground on it, you have to change. So like I said, it's your meter, generator, and any electrical items you have that are doing. A lot of even the generator actually can be can go either way, but I think you just have to take the wires where it goes on and just flip them over from one side to the other, just where it reads. Same as the altimeter, just from one side to the other, and it reads the other way around. So that should be it. But yeah, I'm gonna drop the oil, do all that jazz, because I want to leave electronic ignition in it. Because I was thinking debating whether to go back to points and dentals, but it's mainly just to make the system easier for any issues down the line. That, like I said, it's mainly for a alternator compared to the generator. Although we can get brand new generators anyway, but they max out pretty much when you run your headlights and then the heater box. You pretty much max that out, so it struggles a bit because usually it's one or the other. So an alternator would be way better, but it doesn't look as cool. It doesn't look as original. Alright, so I guess with that we'll continue on plugging away, pulling the stuff apart. To get all this off, because I have a grommet to go there, a new steer grommet for the gator for there. Now that's open. And yeah, I'm going to check all the rest of the piping and make sure all the rest of the hose and pipe is all in good condition. That's it. Alright, more high speed I guess. Alright, so getting there. I love working on these cars, honestly. Like the old dirty hands, but like it's almost a smell of the old oil or the old style engines that makes it just different. It feels like a weekend job, garage job. I don't know. It just feels like what they've been doing for a long time. Because to be honest, all you need is like a 7/16 half-inch 9/16 spanner, a flathead screwdriver and a rag, and away you go. You can do anything on the car. And a feeler gauge. It's pretty much the entire car is, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm even trying to put new screws in and still keep them as a flathead, just to keep that little look to it. Although if I had brass screws, it'd be way better. Taking the brass screws, I had a look at this, and I think he plated over. I think he plated over here, so I'm thinking the original tag might still be behind this. So I might try see if there's any screws on the inside or rivets to see, because there should be 2 brass screws. So maybe he just went over it. Anyway, I'm going to reverse the polarity, so that's why I took the battery out. So I'm going to swing everything around. What have I done? I've cleaned up the fuel line. So I got rid of the line that was coming in. I have the pipe. Now I have to connect it down forward. I'm going to have probably a rubber, and then I'm going to put probably pipe all around the car. But the line coming in, look, it was okay, but he had the 5/16 fuel line come out and go around, which is not correct. It's meant to be a 1/4 inch, so you have a pressure loss there, so that can make a difference as well. So that could be difference on the pump not being able to do it correct, that it's not priming correctly based on the wrong size piping. So I changed that anyway. I haven't connected it over there because I still plan on taking the carbs off to have a look on the far side. My wire is just randomly sitting there, going nowhere. So that's going to be the power. I still had to clean off around here. He said the new fuel pump was in. It took me a bit because I was trying to get a fine thread bolt in. I like to replace the bolts. I was trying to get it in and in and in, and I got fed up and like, how am I not getting it straight? Then I realized it was a coarse thread. There's not many coarse threads you get on these cars. Like, I know some of the carburetors have coarse thread. Like the thermostat sort of housings sometimes can be coarse thread, but not much else. Even the 6s, I'm trying to think what's coarse thread. I know the filters are coarse thread, and I feel like there's something else with the coarse thread, and I can't think of what it is. And I only had a conversation with somebody the other day, and I still can't remember. But yeah, I didn't realise that was a coarse, so I was playing around with it for a bit. Anyway, the new pump is in. That's great. And like I said, I've changed it to a pipe. So I have a 1/4 inch pipe out to a fuel line to a pipe, and it's going to go back over to the original piping. So all's good. I still have to figure out what I'm going to do about a heater one, because obviously it has it blocked off here, and that should, as far as I know, bend and go in here. I'll probably get a new one of these then, because we sandblast and it's pretty brittle. Like it's like you can see right through the damn thing. So, hang on a second. You see my finger on the far side? See the hole? So it's brittle right up to the very lip, so it's no point. So we're going to take that off. Now, in fairness, like I said, he hasn't blocked off, wasn't doing anything. But if I don't get a heater box, I'll have to leave it. But if not, I'll do something with it. Anyway, swapping the stuff around. I'm gonna take this off and clean it. But yeah, I'm still gonna put it to a negative ground just for the sake of being easier. So yeah, some bits and pieces of strip. I haven't done anything else on the inside. I'm still waiting for this rubber. It actually looks like it's slowly starting to sink down. Because obviously it was in a ball when it was in the bag, so it might slowly just sink. But again, nice hot day, it will get hot and it will just zoom down and it will go. So it's only a splash guard, believe it or not. Anyway, that's the thing. Yeah, that's all I have for now. Coming along well. Like I said, I enjoy doing this. It's just, it's one of those that you don't use any power tools on. Nothing pneumatic. Just a simple, like, simple wrench, as you call it over here. We call it a spanner. Spanner, like a couple of spanners, a couple of screwdrivers, and time. Lots of time. Lots of time indeed, and patience to find these problems. I was playing around with this. Some of the wire was a little wrong. I was trying to separate it to put the new grommet on, and I just got to the point that the wire is still running all the way through, because it still runs the original switch for the indicator, so the wire ran all the way through. Trying to get it to separate, I'm like, here, instead of pulling it all apart for that grommet, I gave up. So what I end up doing, to be honest, I end up on the slit in the bottom, and I got some the 3M90, is it? The better one than the 77 for the interior. Basically what I done was I sprayed it on it and I stuck it around. I put a tie wrap on it there, which I'll end up taking it off. I may end up putting the clamp instead, and I'll put the screw back in. But it's enough to hold it. Again, it's only a splash guard just to stop the splash from going in. So all good there. That's it. So yeah, we continue on. Unfortunately, the time of this, that's me for the day. Back on shift tomorrow. I'm going up to see Ellen then on Saturday to drop some stuff off. So yeah, we'll continue on with the TR3 prep. Now you're wondering, why am I doing some of these things when there's nothing to do with the safety? It's just, I want to get the car running well as well. So like, some of the stuff has never been done, so it's always good to do it. Like I said, it's cleaning it off, looking for any gunk or silicones you're seeing. So doing all that, but like, I want to make sure everything works for the safety. And obviously what I'm going to do when I get down to the bottom here is I'm going to spend some time is all in here, the suspension. So what I'm going to do is, I can't see squat in there because there's so much gunk and crap in there, I can't see nothing. So I'm basically going to have to do is put a bucket underneath, get a bucket of like Varsol and brake cleaner, and just get in there and spray and scrub and clean it all up so I can actually see what's going on. Because it actually looks terrible, but it might not be as bad as what you think. It might not be as bad when it cleans up. It just looks worse than what it is. Like I said, as long as the rubbers are not gone on these, I can always clean them up, and then there's the grease nipples and re-grease them and enough. So there might not be anything wrong with it. But again, I won't know till I actually clean it and see what needs to be changed. And that goes to the same for the back as well. I'll do the same all around by the rear end, like the original shocks and everything. It's all pretty... it's pretty greasy and ugly looking. That's never been done. Like, car was probably never safety in its life. It was registered and went from person to person, and the person's had it God knows how many years, then it's probably never seen safety. So could be the first one, we'll see. That's it. Alright, so I'll see you in the next part. And I'll keep going on this. Alright, new day, and we're back at it still. So I put the new distributor in. I was debating whether to use the original one and just change the cap and all that, because the leads were, to be honest, terrible, solid. They weren't very good. Not to say they don't work, don't get me wrong, they work, but like they were cracked, there was a hole in it, so like just new leads. But the new cap and everything, I said, so put a new coil on it, so it was easier just to replace it. And what I done was I kept the vents of the retard on it. I'm not sure which one it goes to say which one it is. But this one normally has a screw on it that the screws on. All I simply got to do was a little bit of a heavy duty tubing, i.e. very, very small. It's not even I don't think it's even a 1/4 inch ID, and it just to hold it in there, and it still allows me to move when I do the timing on it. So I'll keep that on it. It has electronic ignition in it. I don't need that, but you know what? I'll leave it on it just to save the system. That's it. I have my valve cover off and back. Now, here's something. I don't know if anybody's noticed this. I never knew this, so I'm not gonna lie, no clue. However, someone might explain to me what the difference in the heads is. Is one a TR3 and one's a 3A? I mean, like, because the stack is on the opposite side. This is actually slightly bit taller than this. This one has obviously a hole in the middle where you can put, I suppose, a breather or something along that line, or but just, yeah, it's interesting why the stacks are on different sides. Does it make a difference? I wouldn't say so, but then what's that for? Because I just dug this out and I have 2 of these, and they're both the same way around. Everything else is the same shape, same width and everything. Obviously I took that out because it's cleaner. But I'm just curious, does anybody have the answer why the stack is on the opposite side? I tried to look it up and it's not like a tier 4 one because that has a flat one. I don't know, there's a difference between a tier 2 stack, a tier 3, the 3A. I don't think it's anything to do with the 250, I'm pretty sure, because I think the 250s are, yeah, they are the 6-cylinder anyway, so it's a completely different valve cover. Yeah, so, I don't know, somebody might want to enlighten me why the stacks are on different sides. It doesn't make a difference. It's still train. I think it's also a slight bit taller. So this one here is actually a little bit longer. It looks like it, but yeah, no, that's it. You might have the idea. It looks like everything else is pretty much everyone's identical, same shape and everything. But I just felt like it was taller on this side than that one. Maybe it's because this still has overspray and all in it, but. Yeah, throw the comment up there if you know. It'd be nice to know. I have no clue. Maybe it's just the way you were made. Maybe one year you made it that side and you decided it's no good and you swapped it to the other side. Maybe there's something as simple as that. Alright, so what we're going to do now is continue on. We're going to start taking the carbs off and the manifold because we're going to get that nice little clean because I want to make sure I can see down there and tie up any loose ends in the way of exhausts. It looks like she's been dripping on me. I know that's fuel from when I was changing the fuel pump, but it looks like a few more drips has come down. So, but then again, that could have been just as it worked its way down. But yeah. All right. So more high speed as we take off the carbs. Let's keep going. Alright, so she's off. A little bit awkward to get the carb off and the bottom just where the nut is. I end up taking the linkage off. Other than that, everything actually looks pretty good there. The gaskets don't look bad. They don't look that old. So I may clean them up. I'll have to see if I have some of them in stock to replace, and I may put a bit of sealer on it. It could be just something stupid like a little bend in it just along the gasket out. Carbs look okay. The intake was okay. We'll clean that up. The exhaust now. So looking at it offhand, I don't see any crack in it. Like I said, it could have been a seal issue where, for example, if I look at, you can see the gasket, but like maybe there's a gap here and it was like, oh sorry, fingers in the way. You can see there's a gap here maybe, and maybe it was escaping it this way. Because I'm looking at the black, that looks pretty clean around. That one looks pretty okay. This one looks a little dark, so I'm just wondering, was it a gasket put on? This wasn't flush, so like I may change it, and either way I'm gonna, if I get another one, if I have one out there, I'm gonna grind it down so it's nice and smooth first as well. Same with this one, doesn't show any sign of exhaust escaping on the edges, but again, I could be wrong, but I don't see any cracks along the edges where, like, the weak spots would be somewhere along here if it was going to crack. Gasket, sorry, I've zoomed in too much. The gasket for the bottom end of it looks a bit perished, so we're going to replace that. Yeah, so it's waiting. What do you want? Frisbee? Yeah, let's wait for you to go play with it. Since I got home this morning, I've been waiting. So what I'm going to do here is, I know it's dark, I'm going to end up cleaning up a bit. I'm going to go in and just clean up the ports here, just to make sure there's no debris. Yeah, it's going without me. Just mention it. And I'm going to clean all in here for the intakes. Just clean it and make it nice and neat so that it goes in better. Just while you have it off. It's nothing expensive to do. I'll get the Dremel and just tie around it and just clean all off, just to make sure the edges are clean. And again, I'll get the machine and just go over the edges to make sure there's no gap, so therefore I'll make sure there's no exhaust escaping anywhere else. Other than that, I may look at getting some not Varsol, lacquer thinners, and see, can I start getting some of this stuff off to see if we can start actually cleaning up the engine bay. If not, we may look at just basically painting it black or some of that, or, well, a different day's job for now. But yeah. Anyway, all good down there. At least when you get to the starter motor again, I'll collect. I'm gonna clean and check the connection. Now I have to the generator. Now I can actually swap the polarity around from one side to the other for the generator. And I'm still on the fence right now whether to throw in an alternator there, because I'm changing the polarity from positive ground to negative ground. So yeah, all right, another day's mission's a bit of a busy Saturday. We're at the racing at the Canadian Tourist tomorrow. I'm not racing myself, but I'm going to see a few people I know. I'm going to see Matt. Hopefully he's still racing with his TR4. I know someone racing MGBs, so like a few people to go see that race. So maybe I've seen you there when you're watching this. God, yes, something. I don't know if it's fluff or bits of exhaust or yeah, something. Alright, and that's it. So I'm going to go clean this up a bit more, and I'm going to check to see if I have a spare one outside. I'm going to clean it up, have a nice. If I don't have a manifold, another one else manifolds, I'm going to clean that up, because I wanted to go back looking nice. If I'm going to take it off, I can't put it back on with paint on it. What? What is it? What? Just look at that face, look. Look at that face. What would you like? Every time I'm in here, that's what I have to put up with. It's interrogating me. It's hard to say no. Frisbee? Alright, we'll go wash up and we'll play Frisbee. Alright, I'm going to go play Frisbee first, obviously, and then I'm going to come back and do some more high speed, and I'm going to clean up the engine bay. So, see you in a couple of minutes. Alright, welcome back. It's not exactly what you've seen the last time. So I started to do the suspension, and it turned out to be a nightmare because there was so much grease and layering in there that it was bad. It was pretty bad, and it took me a good hour or two just to clean one side and expose all the bushings there, and those little dark in here, but to clean them off, they're actually pretty okay. All the bushings are okay, believe it or not. I just re-greased them, so that's why they look terrible, so I put new grease in there. I did have to change this one, so that grommet or seal, whatever you want to call it, that one I changed, so it's still the original, and I had to change the top bushings here. So other than them, and of course do you think the split pin will come out of that? Not a chance. So I'm going to put my own ones in it. Other than that, everything else actually tied up pretty okay. I'm waiting for new shocks, because the shocks came out of it were shocking. They looked like they came out the Titanic. They were so bad. I had debated whether to change the spring, but I think, to be honest, the spring should be okay. But the shock, I don't know if the shock was working, but like it was so rusty, there was no way it's going to pass the safety. So I'm waiting for new shocks. With that, where did I go? I haven't changed the lines because I know the brake works, and I'm still on two minds whether to do that, whether to tap into the brake system or not. I'm probably not going to. I'm going to send it through the system when it goes through the safety and see what happens, and then if I have to, then I will change it, because it still was being used recently. So it's not like if the car's set for like a year or two in a garage or for some time and done nothing, I would, but there has been work done to it based on what I've seen. Not the greatest of work, but there has been work done to it. So what else have I done in the meantime? Well, I started getting carried away, and I wasn't recording, and I was doing bits and that because I was rushing out. And to be honest, I got a lot done, and I never recorded any of it. I can't even remember where I was. So I'm talking now, and I know when I play the video back and put it back as one, that I'll go, oh yeah, well I do remember that. So I have to say it again anyway. So the manifold, I'm pretty sure I talked about that. I took it off, I resprayed it in like charcoal, one of the ones for barbecues, to clean it all up. I put a new gasket down on the pipe in here, the connection. That's a different manifold. I replaced that. I took the linkage off and actually fixed it correctly and give it a bit of spray paint of black, make it look nice. The carbs are actually being off cleaned right now. I put a different valve head in it. As you can see, I haven't posted it yet, actually, even at this point, so I still have no idea which is correct. That is a different one I put on. It fits fine. There's new gasket in there, so all good on that. I also managed to get the alternator in, so I just had it fit, and I said screw that, and I took the generator out and I put this in. Of course, the nut that goes in here, that simply unbolts, got halfway out and snapped, and there was no way on earth you were going to get that out until you took the engine out. Ugh. Well, good luck with that. So I basically took one of the brackets that you get for the seat belts, which is a pretty thick bracket, made an angle, and I used the original one and bored a new hole in here, and it fits perfect. Done. Great. Belt is nice and tight, so that should be good. Other than that, obviously I reversed the battery around, put the leads on, we put a new starter solenoid in, cleaned some of the bits and pieces up. I was going to put a new switcher in there, like a new flasher, but to be honest, that one was working, so I said, I'll just leave the original in there. I think that's all I got to so far here. Obviously, this is the new lead that's going to go on, so I'm just debating which way I'm going to tie it to the battery. Most likely it won't be under this hose. I just have it on here. I don't want to have too much of a mess. Now, what else bugged me? These bugged me a lot. So I really got fed up with that kit you get, and everybody's saying it's the same one. So in the end, what I done was, I took the big washer that's supposed to be on the bottom and I put it on top. And all I done was I found another washer, and it's a standard washer that fits. And I got one of these, I don't know what they call them, shear clips, or I'm pretty sure it's a shear clip or something along the line. And I just popped it in, and lo and behold, she's pretty good. So she's loose enough to turn, which is great. But then after doing all that and done the two of them, it's great. I went to put them on and realised these don't line up either. So I tried to move that, and it still didn't line up. So I'm thinking that's why they were never connected in the first place, is that these are not right. Now, I think what I may have to do is, I'll have to adjust that one as well. But when it comes straight down, it doesn't line up. So what I might do is take it back off again. And on the back here, where you can allows you to adjust, I might just make it a bit bigger to give me more room to play to line up. It does close. It does actually close and lock, but it's pretty tight. It's really pushed to this side, I believe. So this one almost needs to go back, but it could be this one. This one could be too far over, so I need to shove it that way. Same as this. I might have to adjust this. So most likely I'll take them both off and I'll drop it down and I'll see where this one lines up to this to see if I need to move it, because that could be pushing it as well. A few little adjustments, but again, it closes for now, so I'm not overly concerned. Obviously I had an interesting boo-boo. I put all the piping in, and what I decided to do is I decided to put a heater in there, a heater blower. Now, the one you get, you see advertised from the major stores, it's like nearly $1,000. What a rip-off. What a rip. So I decided to go do my own. So, here are Plan 6 parts. I said, here, do you know what? I'll put my own one in there. So I did. So I went out and bought this. This one is a 12 volt. It's a heater blower. It's pretty standard. One pipe in, one pipe out to the core. It has 4 blowers at the end. So I have the 2 of them connected here to the loofahs up top. This tube, to be honest, is terrible. Like, this is the worst of the worst, but for now we'll do just to blow air, and I can always come back to it with a better tubing. It's just for now anyway. But like, the unit itself was just over $100 for a brand new unit. It's a heater blower, so it's a lot cheaper than the 1000, and it comes with a switch which I already have plugged in. It's a simple 12 volt one. So let me show you. No, it almost fit perfect, but to be honest, I'll show you now. Here's the switch. So the switch went straight on. I didn't have to do anything with it. It fitted through the dashboard. So I just have to put a little label on that. So that's great. Look, here it is there. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, there's 2 metal plates. I don't know if it's dark enough to see, but right here, there's a metal plate that we're doing what we was set on. I just grinded down the middle of it and hit it with a hammer and flattened it out just to make it, because this unit obviously is wider than the other one. I could have gone up a tiny bit more, but I ended up just settling to put it in there because I was getting fed up with leaning in. Overall, actually, it's pretty neat. It sits in and it doesn't stick out too obvious apart from this. But again, like I said, I can get better tubing to mitigate that. But hey, it works. It sits in, and when you look at it, it's not too it's not too out there. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Other than that, I changed all the bulbs. So I changed all the lights. I swapped over the wires for the amp because I'm running positive, not negative. Sorry, I'm running negative ground, not positive ground. Let me say that correctly. So obviously I just had to change that. The fuel gauge, I just had to figure out to make sure it's right. So I did put a ground strap on it, but I may have to flick these around. Again, when I put power on, I'll see. It has a license plate on it. Changed all the bulbs, pretty straightforward. Nothing too complicated about that. What else did I do? Oh yeah, fuel line. So, it's getting dark in here. I put the new one in, I put the pipe in, and I have a tube here running to a filter, as you can see. And then from there, I ran the same pipe and I changed it to a pipe all the way down the car. Because, I don't know about you, but like somebody obviously put fuel line in here and it was too big. It was too big and too fat, and I think that has an issue as well. Again, like I said, drawing it up, it's just too big. And I don't think they will allow you to put fuel line, flexi line all the way from back to front unless it's either hidden or maybe it's shielded. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they're going to let you do that. You could do it when you don't have to get it inspected. But for this case, I ran pipe all the way down just to cover that end of it. Is that it? I'm not sure. Obviously, I was playing around with the steering. I had the steering wheel off, and of course, as you can see, that one was pointed to the right. The other one, I'm pretty sure, is pointed to the left. It's a little bit off, but yeah, the whole alignment is off. Well, that's because I took the steering wheel off. I was playing around with it. I'm not worried about that anyway. The alignment will get done. Overall, I'm getting there though. So this side is pretty much done. I have the seat in. It's not exactly the most gracious of seats. It's actually, believe it or not, it's a TR4 seat. It's just because the TR1 that was in here with the TR2 was no good. I'm getting the TR1s redone anyway. The only difference is it's the same seat. Exact same seat. The only difference is the tracks are different. I believe on the 4 it has this handle. When the TR3 I think has a handle that's more straightened up and you have a little bit more room, but it still works. The actual seat frame is the exact same. The foam's the same, it's just the pattern of this is different. Believe it or not, these are actually red. I don't know if you can see it. But some of these obviously sprayed or vinyl sprayed them black. But there's nothing wrong with it. The foam was great in them. So like, yeah, just sprayed them again. But you know what? They'll do for now. So this thing is not it's not a car show at the moment. It's just getting it ready. So it's still gonna look nice though. Just keep putting some more back to black on it, or should I say leather treatment stuff. I think that's where I am. I'm pretty trying to remember where I am. Like I said, so just other than the shock there, I'm working on this one here. So again, there's so much crap in there. I'm just trying to clean up the lever shock here, and then I'm just going to wait till tomorrow because I'm trying to have a good look at the drop links here to see if the bushings are gone. There's a new bushing going in here, so I have to go get a wire and actually tighten that in because that one was shot. But this car's messy. It really is. It's a clean car, but like, I swear to God, it's like you couldn't have put any more grease on the bottom of it. Like, it was so thick. Like, some of it, like, it's a 1/4 inch thick. So like, it's gonna be floor. Look, that's God. I wish there was an easy way of doing this, like bringing it somewhere that you can put underneath and getting a solvent blast that will clean all the crap off it. But no, you do it by hand and brush, and it's brutal. Like, that side is not bad. I wish I could show you the other side. It's a little dark. Yeah, it's dark. But oh, it's so caked on in there. Like it's hang on. Like it's greasy. This side's not. I believe it or not. Yeah, look. It doesn't look bad, but like when you try to wire brush that, oh man, does it go everywhere. And again, these bushings up here are gonna have to get changed. I'm gonna do the exact same. I'm gonna change them 2 bushings. I'm gonna most likely change this as well. I'll see if it looks okay and I'll clean it. I won't bother. That'd be a job at least I won't have to do. But you can see the shock in there. Look, it's shockingly bad. Actually, it was so bad I had to grind out the bottom of it. The things wouldn't even come down. The holders, the keepers. I had to grind them out, so I'd go get new ones. And of course, they're on back order. Great, absolutely great. Just what I wanted. Back order. But everything seems to be back order now. Anyway, that's it. So new valve cover on. Just waiting to get some plugs, to get some leads for it. Slowly getting there. It needs a good washing here as well, but slowly taking shape. It should be good to see it when I actually get it running. I'm waiting on the wiper, the wheel boxes, because they are, again, they're shot. It's just one of the things that, again, if it wasn't going for a safety, a lot of the stuff you could get away with not touching. But because it is, unfortunately, you have no choice but to do it because they have to see it. And I can't get away with not having the blower. Whether the heating works is one thing, but it has to at least blow air through the loofahs up onto the top to defog. So that was a reason why I had to go do that. I'm waiting for one piece to change in here for the heating, and then I can put the rest of that carpet and put the seat back in. So it's almost done apart from the suspension. I'm hoping to have it done in the next couple of days. Well, I'll wait for parts, but yeah. So that's it. You rug grommet on there. It's just, yeah. Ooh. P6P. So there's a good chance, I'm going to say there's a 90% chance I'm not going to get this done for British Car Day. Because we're already into the end of June, nearly the start of July. And it's just a tub sitting here. So although I have all the parts for it, I just can't see myself getting it done because I've this to finish. I've the green TR6 to bring back in to do the head on it. And then there's another blue one to come in. But look, when that's done, I just don't think I'm going to have the time to finish it. Because all the extra stuff I'm going to put on it, I just think that I'm going to run out, which is a shame. So at this stage, I'm probably going to be looking at, not British Car Day 2026, but maybe before that, maybe Ancaster. I'm not going to bring it Ancaster, it's too cold. But I'll probably push for the spring for there. But you can, to be honest, you can follow me as I go along. I'll probably end up, because that's not going to get done, I'm probably going to take the 250 in here, and we're going to start in the TR250, or I'm going to finish actually the TR4. I'll finish that and get that one out. I'm probably going to paint that myself, because the P6P frame is sitting in our back shed, and when that comes out, I'll have a nice big shed that I can use as a spray boot. Yes. Anyway, that's it for this episode, and yeah, when we come back, hopefully I'll have the rest of the parts and we'll kick in and do the rest of the suspension. So and put some power to it and see if the overdrive works. At least the solenoid anyway. Alright, usual, any comments, questions, or concerns, give me a shout. I'll try answer it. Most likely I'll have more questions than answers. So yeah, see you in the next part. Thanks for watching.